Welcome back to Studio D. We always hear you are what you eat. So what foods make us less healthy and more at risk for illness? Well, today we are lucky enough to be joined by MJ Jenkins. She's a representative from the American Cancer Society and author of Think No Pink, who's going to tell us all about what foods look good and what foods to avoid. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm so glad to be in your beautiful studio with you today.
And talking to you, you are a world traveler spreading the message.
I'm all over the world talking about cancer-causing foods and how you can avoid them. And for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you know, there's a real reason, a passion in my heart of why I talk about cancer-causing foods and how to avoid them is because I wrote a book, Think No Pink. Because when you think no cancer, you will think no pink ribbons. And that's my goal. You know, as a breast cancer survivor, I was one of those 1 in 8 women the American Cancer Society talks about that will be diagnosed with breast cancer in the course of her lifetime. I'm one of them, and with the help of Angelina Jolie's breast surgeon, today I'm happy to say I'm cancer-free.
Woo, good for you. That's awesome.
And part of my big message is talking about the 3 mistakes I talked about earlier on the hour, and now I'm here to talk about one of those mistakes is cancer-causing foods and how you can avoid them. And you know, there's a sea of foods out there that are bad for you.
Yes.
You think they're really great, like gorgeous eggs and things that are non-organic. Well, you see my thing, eat this is over here and eat that is over here, and we're going to talk about
eggs?
Well, eggs are great, but why don't you go with cage-free organic eggs that don't have any pesticides or any, you know, the free-range chicken. So you want to have the non-pesticides and the type of foods. Vegetables are awesome. I was shocked at the kind of foods that cause cancer. I mean, my mom was always cooking with canned tomatoes, and all you need to do is the acidics and the change of the cans with the carcinogens. Just use some fresh tomatoes and cut them up with some, how about some awesome basil and you can even eat these for breakfast. I can't tell you the number of times I have salads for breakfast now instead of having big, huge breads and donuts.
So canned tomatoes, it's because of the can itself?
Because of the can and the acidic turning. Yes, it actually has a chemical reaction with the can. And so you can jar them and you can eat them spaghetti sauce out of a jar, but fresh. I love always one ingredient in my book. You can't go wrong with avoiding cancer. And the sea of information out there, you know, sugar feeds cancer. So you don't know that pasta and flours and sugars and breads, you know, they all turn to sugar in our body. You know, high glycemic, have you heard of that? Well, low sugar and keep your body. Why don't you just take a spaghetti squash and cut this up for dinner, and you could have an awesome spaghetti with tomatoes that tastes just like you're having pasta, but you shrivel it and you shred it with carrots, and you can make this awesome saute it with a little garlic, a little bit of tomato. And how about the water that you're drinking? So many of my kids are wanting Diet Coke and Diet sodas because they think that the diet has no sugar. Well, your body changes it into sugar. So avoiding sugars, because sugar feeds cancer tumors.
And that makes you even more hungry sometimes, doesn't it?
It really does. And then you're going to want the carbs and the breads and the yummy high glycemic foods. And so the last thing I want to talk about is excessive alcohol, because people don't realize too much alcohol, going down the line here, is better just to replace with, at least if you even every other glass, if you have to stay with a glass of wine, why don't you have sparkling water with cut up lemons? I love actually slicing lemons in my water. Or how about pineapple and infusing water with pineapple? Or how about aloe water? And switch out these things. I like to carry a wine glass at a party and put a little aloe water with some lemon, and no one even knows that I'm having my own type of cocktail with no alcohol, low glycemic, get rid of the sugars out of your diet. And I have in my book, BFF stands for best friend forever for most people. Well, it really stands for B, to believe. You will believe you will survive because you can avoid these cancer-causing foods. F stands for feed your body good foods, but also feed your soul. Little Coco is here with me.
Coco
Feed your soul with all your happiness and your good thoughts and good feelings with a little buddy, like a 4-legged furry friend during cancer. Because F in my BFF solution is freedom. You have the freedom to survive. You have the freedom to recreate your life. And come walk with me. Get healthy. Change out your diets for these cancer foods and go into all healthy, all organic, so that you can avoid the pesticides and avoid the cancer carcinogens that are entering into your life.
Well, talk a little bit about your book. Where can we learn all these amazing tips?
At thinknopink.com, I talk about my book, and I also talk about how I'm a breast cancer coach, because once I had breast cancer, I wanted to get full of all the information I could of all the things that help save your life and help change your lifestyle. And so with Coco, she was with me every step of the way through my chemotherapy, helped me heal. And I talk about in my book how important it is to have someone that loves you and surround yourself with positive thoughts. thinknopink.com. I also have great little things online where you can actually carry your dog with you. I carry her all around the world on the plane in my little sling, and I have pictures of that. And then I also talk about cancer-causing foods. There's so much more than I can go into in 4 minutes.
So I have a question for you. You have children.
Yes.
Has it been easy to incorporate all of these wonderful foods and take away some of that stuff from them?
I'm telling you, it's impossible to get them to stop the Diet Cokes and the Cokes.
Okay.
But what I do now is I say, okay, it's a treat. If you do your homework on time, we'll give you about 8 ounces. And then I think everything in moderation.
Right. Okay.
And if you can just avoid those cancer foods by having reduced sugars and be healthy, come walk with me at the American Cancer Society Strides, Making Strides Walk. And come out to Real Men Wear Pink for the month of October. You men out there should go online to cancer.org and makingstrideswalk.org. Come look at me up at Think No Pink. You can find all the information you need.
And this energy just goes with her wherever she goes. Believe me, it is real. We've got more coming up on Studio D. We're bringing you the scoop on wearable technology that's set to put fitness tracking where it makes most sense. You're going to want to see this smart belt. And there's so much more for your pet. We're checking out the latest on pet wearable tech when Studio D returns.